Hello, welcome to my speech on just how green is England. I will start my speech now. Almost a third of Surrey is covered in trees, making it the most green area of the country, followed by Exeter, then London. Many people are under the belief that rural areas are home to the majority of trees. Counties such as Cornwall, Suffolk, and Norfolk, in fact, trail industrial areas like Manchester, Leeds, Newcastle. Portsmouth is seen as the worst city for tree coverage. Bristol, which is well known for its green credentials, is ranked the fifth greatest city in the country. To reach its net zero carbon emissions target, the UK has to plant 1.5 billion more trees by 2050, which equates to an area of a minimum of 30,000 hectares, or approximately 45,000 football pitches, yearly. Modern day tree planting rates are in and around 13,500 hectares a year, which means that tree planting rates must more than double to be able to meet this goal. The highest tree cover percentage in urban areas in the country is in Surrey, Exeter, London, Plymouth, Gateshead, with the lowest being Portsmouth, Cornwall, Lincolnshire, Suffolk, and Bristol. To establish a clearer idea of how UK land is used, they can be split into four broad categories: farmland, such as pastures and vineyards; natural, such as forests and lakes; built on, such as roads and airports; green urban, such as golf courses and football pitches. Most of the UK landmass is down to agriculture, just over a third, being considered natural or semi-natural. Coping with urban landscape is a problem. It is of utmost importance to quantify the amount of green urban there is in our towns and cities. People care about parks and gardens. One should never overstate the greenness of our landscape. 2.5% of the UK is built on green urban, such as parks, gardens, golf courses, sport pitches. 72.9% of England is farmland, 14.5% is natural, 8.8% is built on, with 3.8% green urban, as aforementioned. The London Borough of Richmond upon Thames is the highest amount of green urban landscape anywhere in the country. Over 58% of the local authority comes under this category. Richmond Park covers around 2,500 acres, with a good amount of large golf courses in the area. The local authority with the highest amount of land devoted to golf is Woking, with 11% in total. British golf courses are estimated to cover 1,256 square kilometres, which equates to the entirety of Greater Manchester, and in line with some estimates, just a bit smaller than all land covered by housing. The UK is a green and pleasant land, with over half the country regarded as a pasture or arable land. Agricultural land used for animal grazing and growing crops constitutes roughly 50% of the country, with people making up more of the UK than urban areas. England is the most built on of the home nations at close to 9%. Half of Wales and Northern Ireland are pastures and arable land. Land cover in Scotland is dominated by a combination of peat bogs, moors, and forests. Our planet is ever changing. We are facing a climate and nature emergency which has costed lives worldwide. Floods, droughts, forest fires, and tropical storms are taking place more and more frequently. They're becoming more and more intense, putting millions of people's homes and lives at risk. To avoid this in future societies need to change considerably. Reliance on fossil fuels must come to an abrupt end. Countries need to cut their planet heating emissions down to zero and fast. At this moment in time, many people's livelihoods are linked to polluting industries. Think of oil and gas workers, and aviation engineers, factory workers building petrol diesel vehicles. Climate change could even threaten financial stability. For example, if a quick shift away from fossil fuels leaves oil, gas, and coal companies holding worthless assets and incapable of paying bank loans as a result. Due to the Bank of England encouraging companies to investigate and disclose financial risk, climate change affects every aspect of what a central bank does. If we want to avoid dramatic climate change, these polluting industries need to change entirely. Someone need to shrink with these changes due to the impact of the livelihood of these workers in their respective communities. It's a huge challenge which should not be taken lightly. Just transition is a good way to describe what we need to do. They need to move an environmentally sustainable economy without leaving workers and polluting industries left behind. Its objective is to support good quality jobs, decent livelihoods, as and when polluting industries decline as others expand, forming a fairer and equal society, thus making it just. Moving to a clean economy is a considerable task which will open up millions of jobs worldwide. Greenpeace has in fact predicted that the British government alone could open up 1.8 million jobs by investing in a green economic recovery post COVID-19. There's a lot of work ahead in creating cleaner transport, building renewable energy, insulating homes, and restoring nature. All of these industries will grow in the future with the correct training and opportunities. Workers in the modern day high polluting industries could play a considerable role in them. This will not happen by chance. It needs time and backup from politicians and businesses alike. Done in the right way, the economic transformation which is needed to combat climate change can be seen as an opportunity to eradicate many of the wider economic injustices which already exist. If we tackle this transition carelessly, it will undoubtedly make things worse, and taking action on climate change will start to lose public support. This is why it's essential to put the livelihood and well-being of people who are employed by polluting industries at the forefront of any climate transition plans. The COVID-19 fallout is yet another reminder as to why we need a just transition. With that having already caused a crisis in the oil and gas industries in the UK, 30,000 jobs could well be lost. Whether the crisis was caused by the pandemic, it is a sign of things to come for the industry. As the industry shrinks, with countries moving away from fossil fuels, workers who rely on those industries need to understand the way forward. Three key factors to make a just transition work: collaboration. National and regional governments must work closely with local authorities, workers, unions, employers, stakeholders, trusting each other to get things done. The second, a local approach. Those two places are the same. Most successful economic transitions have had a clear vision for their specific region. The third, money. These groups have substantial funding and the power so the affected communities can shape what takes place and receive the support they need. To be able to properly support a just transition in the UK, the government has to spend minimum £5 billion per year, which may need to increase over time. We cannot strike up a deal with climate change. We must act or face the consequences. What we can do is control how we move away from fossil fuels. Getting it right won't be an easy task. It will take vision, courage, investment, difficult conversations, and a will to work with a whole variety of people. If we were to truly achieve a just transition, it would be one of the best things humanity, as a collective, has managed to pull off. Thank you.